Hi everyone, this is Nick with MotoLoader. Before the video gets started, I do want to apologize for the background noise. There will be a rooster and some chickens making noise this morning, but I think we can still get it done. So this video is just a couple quick build tips for anyone that is getting started on their MotoLoader build. You can find the plans and build kits on our website to build a system similar to this one. The main thing that I want to call out is before you start welding either the base frame that you can see here in the truck or the platform that's hanging here, you want to plan out the holes that need to be drilled in both of these, because it's a lot easier to drill holes, especially if you're using a drill press with the tubes before they get welded. So I want to cover, just show visually here what are the holes that you need to plan for. The plans also detail out all the holes, their exact position that we recommend on the tube, and how they work with the other tubes that are secured onto the holes. So I'm going to start with the holes that hold the extensions. So as you can see here, the frame extension is a great way to demonstrate this. There's two pins on either side. There's one here and one over there. And the way this works, it's pretty simple. There's a tube, there's an inner tube that is attached to this frame extension, and that inner tube slides in and gets the pin inserted through it, and that retains it. The way that we attach this tube, we detail this in our build guide, but just to visually show it here as well, we do not weld the tube here on the edge of the extension to avoid having a weld. As you can see, both tubes are flush against each other. There's no weld material here. So how is this inner tube attached to this tube? The way we do that is we drill a hole here into this outer tube, slide the inner tube inside, and then weld it through the hole. So you can see here there's some weld accumulated from that. So with the hole in this tube and welding the inner tube to this tube through this hole, that keeps the edge clean. So we drill this hole, we drill that other hole. On the platform, there's a similar hole here in the back. You're gonna need this hole whether you have an extension or not. You're gonna need this hole for the wheels, or you're gonna need this hole for the extension, similar to the one that we just showed on the frame, if you decide to have an extension on your platform. And we have another video that talks about platform extensions, but basically, if you have a short bed truck and you need something more than about 5 or 6 feet in length in terms of a platform, you will wanna add an extension to this. So those are the, I'd say the initial holes, right? It's everything for your extension and wheel mounts. The other hole has to do with our horizontal latch system. So if you're not using our horizontal latch system, you will not need this hole. But the plans indicate exactly what this measurement is, and we ship this pin with our horizontal latch and our latch system if you buy our complete build kit. So this hole, and then we weld this pin on the inside here, right there. So that pin is what engages with the horizontal latch, which I will show in a moment. So what I like to do is you can either measure this location per the plans and drill it as an additional kind of insurance that you're drilling this in the right place. You can take the horizontal latch before it's welded to the frame and mock it up here, clamp it down, right, with the switch. Basically this tube engages with the switch on the horizontal latch. So kind of clamp the horizontal latch here, and the latch will be exactly where this needs to be. And you can even help use the latch to help guide your drill bit in the right exact right location for this. So let me go over there to the horizontal latch so I can help visualize this as well. So this is our horizontal latch. This is the design. This is not the final design. The one that's shipping has a little tab to make it easier to lift it. But this is what I was saying is before this is welded to the frame, you can actually clamp this whole thing onto that tube to make sure you're drilling that pin in the exact right place. Then I actually we recommend welding this horizontal latch as one of the last things you do. So once the frame is loaded, you have it tested with the winch and the loading distance in terms of how far forward it comes. you actually load the frame, load the platform on the frame, on the wheels, and then as a last step, you weld the horizontal latch in place. And same with the vertical latches. This can be done, or it should be done, as one of the final steps. Once the platform is loaded, then you can set your height and you can tack, weld this on, weld the L bracket to the hinge, weld the hinge to the frame. And this is one of the last steps. So actually attaching the hinges, the vertical latch hinge, and setting the height of all of these components and welding the horizontal latch are one of the final steps in building. Now, in terms of attaching, I get a lot of questions on how do you actually attach the frame into the truck or into the bed or wherever. So we have, this is an example of how we mounted this frame in a trailer. We have these L brackets and we bolted it down to the wood floor of the trailer. In this truck, we added these D-rings. There's one here and one here to attach to these rings in the bed. So these were already here. So we set these D-rings based on the location of that and to have enough space for a tie down to hold it down. So there's some here and then there's two here, right? So you can see this D-ring and enough distance to this one. We have another one here. And this ensures that the platform is centered and being pulled into the truck. So that was a quick recap of which holes do you want to plan before you start welding your frame together to make sure that you don't have to drill any holes on large welded frames. Once the frames are welded, you can attach the MotoLoader components like the receiver and the adapter and the V-groove wheels. Now what I'll say about the V-groove wheels briefly is this model, you may have noticed, has these older style brackets. We don't ship these anymore. We are actually recommending that you just weld the V-groove wheel directly on top of the tube like this. So this is your standard off-the-shelf V-groove wheel. And you can see here, this one we did in the latest version that we're recommending. The only brackets that you need are these end plates. These are the engineered mounts to work with the center adapter, and these ship in our in either of our build kits. All right. Oh, and last thing, just a quick tip. This is the hitch receiver component that you fabricate out of 2-inch tube. And here is a demonstration of our kind of the decorative end cap that we send with the kit. You can cut either of these tubes at a 45 just to make it look a little nicer when it's in the truck in the hitch. And so this is the pin to hold it in the receiver. And then these are the pins. We have two settings, one for when it's on the cable and one for when it's on the plate. And so some are, the plate is a little bit higher, the cable is a little bit lower because the tailgate sits a little bit higher. So we have two holes here, but you will likely only need one for the adapter plate. All right, check out our website, send us an email if you have any questions. Good luck building, have fun.